So, hi, I'm KB with Nerdophiles. How are you?
Nice to meet you, KB.
Nice to meet you as well. What a lovely, lovely show. So, my first question is, how does Relda manage being thrown into grandmommyhood, while also kind of helping navigate the girls, deal with the emotional ramifications of their parents being missing?
That's a good question because I don't think she's ever had to deal with something like this before. And especially, she hasn't had to deal with young kids in a long time, and especially mistrustful, uh, defiant kids. Sabrina, I mean, Daphne kind of, softens up and relatively quickly. But the resistance from Sabrina gets them into some really dangerous situations. So as a parent, I'm looking at this stuff as like, you know, but Rhoda's a lot more patient than I am.
Oh my gosh, for sure. Because there are times when you are like, Sabrina, we understand that you take the responsibility of being Daphne's almost guardian at this point, right?
Sure.
Very
Yes.
seriously, but you are also still a child. So, like, you
Yeah.
cannot
Yeah.
make these
Well,
decisions.
exactly. Yes. You don't know everything.
Yes, yes. Sometimes I was screaming at the TV, like, now, Sabrina, maybe just listen. I know you're not comfortable with calling Relda Granny quite yet, but maybe just at least listen to this adult who has not proven to do you harm or wrong, as of yet.
Thank you. Thank you.
And so my next question really is, kind of being a Grimm obviously kind of comes with a whole new level of danger and expectations on both Sabrina and Daphne, and it's not something that they're used to at all. So how does Relda kind of guide them in this kind of new heritage while also giving them the space and autonomy to make their own choices and mistakes, like we just kind of talked about a little bit with Sabrina?
Well, she understands that basically this is a magical world and they come from not that. So just even having to convince Sabrina, and not so much Daphne, but convince Sabrina that this is real. It has, in one, I think in the pilot episode, it's like, guess what? Pixies sting. Who knew? But that was a result of, Sabrina trying to get them out of there repeatedly. I forgot the last part of your question, but
Oh, just
they
how
could
does
have to,
Relda continue to kind of allow them, the space and autonomy to kind of make their own choices in this new magical land and make mistakes as well?
well, she does for the first two episodes, I would say, KB, but after that, I think they figure out that they better listen to her.
Sometimes Granny knows best, but I do feel like the advantage Daphne has going for her is that she's so young and she still has her imagination and she's not really jaded by the world, so she can see things from a different perspective, which I think helps the family overall for sure.
Yes.
Well, listen, I cannot wait for audiences to see the Sisters Grimm. And listen, I just told Billy, I'm like, now that Puck has moved in, hopefully we can see more of Puck's relationship with Relda because we didn't really get to see a whole lot of that. It
Yeah.
was mostly since Relda was, being held hostage, so to speak.
Yeah, I never
So,
thought of that.
yeah, I would like
Yeah.
to see more of that moving forward in additional seasons for sure.
Thanks, KB. Pleasure
Well,
talking to you.
thanks so much. Lovely to chat with you as well, and have a great rest of your day. I'm KB with Nerdophiles. How are you?
Good. How are you? I'm
I'm
seeing you
doing
already with
well.
Puck,
I
so
know. Yes,
right?
yes, yes. Good old Puck. So my first question is, kind of what do you think is the greatest lesson that Puck learns from the Sisters Grimm? And
Hmm.
also, on the converse side, what do you think he teaches them kind of over the course of their adventures this season?
Yeah, I think that we see him as just he. I think he all he thinks he is just this prankster, right? He's just this trickster, and yeah, what we start to see is a much more nuanced character. And I think that the girls, they bring that out of him. He probably has been. I mean, he's been around for thousands of years, just like that guy in the background that's just always saying something and being silly. But what's amazing with this relationship is they bring him into their world, and I think he softens through that. And then I think what um what I think what we see from him is he's very curious and very brave, and I think that the girls get to channel that. I think that this world and this journey that they're going through is quite daunting, quite scary, and the investigative side of things. I think that he has that in abundance, probably because he can fly and be over there and then be over there. But I think that he brings that out of them definitely.
And I'm glad that you said he softens a bit. The sisters soften him a bit. I also think to a degree that's a little bit of Relda, right, too, who
Yeah.
kind of softens him as well. And even though we don't get to see them kind of interact as much this first season, now that Puck has moved in, okay, how do
Yeah.
you see him and the other fairies kind of alliance with the Grimm's family continuing
Yeah.
to bloom?
Well, I think it's nice. I'd love to know we have so many references of Park. Obviously, you go on Google, there's tons of stuff. But in this world, I think Relda has probably seen a bit of a loner, as someone who really needs to be brought in and needs to be sort of just kind of taken care of in ways. And
Mhm.
he clearly has a lot of respect for that and a lot of admiration. And yeah, I think it just when you start to feel comfortable in yourself and knowing that you are around great people, you then start to flourish. You then start to be able to be the person that you always were, and you're not really like lying to yourself. You're able to just be comfortable, and that's I think that's what we see in the show. And you start to see a more full-bodied character who's not just he's not just relying on I'm a silly kid. It's like he's got more to him. There's more to him than that.
Well, you know what? I love that you say that now that he feels comfortable, he can be himself, because that's something I am looking forward to seeing as seasons continue, particularly between Sabrina and I'm going to call him Peter Pan, since that's what she likes to, since that's what she
Yeah.
likes to call him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that because I do think that they both kind of bring out those flourishing aspects in each other for
Yeah.
sure. And you see
Yeah.
glimpses of that over the course of this first season.
I agree. Yeah, I think that that was one of the things. Maybe it was a little bit easier in the recording studio to be silly, to be shout and scream, but then when those scenes were coming up and that there was that connection between Sabrina and Puck, I was like, okay, I've got to really nail this, and I only have my voice. I don't have my eyes, and I don't have everything. It's just an animation. So I'm hoping that I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see the scenes. I haven't seen them, and yeah, there's real tenderness, and that's just like a budding relationship that hopefully in season two we get to see as well.
Yeah, well, you know what? I truly can't wait for audiences to see this. I think you both nailed it. Obviously, you guys were not necessarily in the same room, but
No.
honestly, you can feel the tenderness definitely
Oh, that's
between
great.
Sabrina and Puck. It definitely comes across so well. So just thank you so much for taking time to chat with Nerdophiles and really can't wait for audiences to see Sisters Grimm.
Thank you, Kay.
Thank you. Have a great day.